Castle podcast. I'm Queen Deborah.
I'm Queen Emily.
And we are queens of our castles, keeping the domestic arts alive. It is August 2nd, 2018, and this is episode 36.
Woohoo! 36!
Yes. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. And we have show notes. Hopefully.
Maybe.
Maybe. Hopefully. It didn't quite work out last time. Please forgive us because,
change is hard.
Yeah. We will hopefully have some show notes down below in a bit. Usually what happens is we record, I upload it, Emily puts the show notes together, she gives them to me, I don't always get them on in a timely manner.
So sometimes if they're not there, like the day that the video comes out, check back in a day or two.
But anyways, so they should be down below and in our Ravelry group, which is also meanwhile at the castle. And did I get it all?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
We should actually write down a script that we have.
I'm terrible at following scripts.
So am I.
Because then I'm like this. Know. And then you say, I'm terrible.
Thanks for everybody who's returning viewers and to all of those of you who are new. If you're new, we're sisters. We're wacky. We often can't keep a straight face and make really lame jokes. So
if you like lame jokes, you are in the right
absolutely.
place. And if you like to watch people make a fool of themselves, you are in the right place.
For sure.
All right. So we had a giveaway that we announced last time, and we need to announce our winner. I got out the prize.
You got out the prize. It's right behind you.
I'm like, where did the prize go?
Yes, this was our 3,000 subscriber giveaway. We had our tropical celebration last episode, which was super fun. And we asked you all to share ways that you keep cool in the summer. And our winner of this gorgeous set.
This is Tropical Punch sock set that I've dyed.
It's gorgeous.
Look how cute the label is. I love it. I love it. And along with
a copy of my Aria socks pattern. So that prize is going to K.S. Jepson. That's Kim. So she was post number 25, and she was sharing that she has a bunch of big trees around her house that provide lots of shade and help keep cool, and that she also likes ice like I do. I love ice.
Yes, ice is good until you start chewing it. Chew ice.
And for all those of you who are worried that I'm iron deficient, actually I am iron deficient, but I already know that. I'm already working on it. But the ice thing predates and will post-date that. So I'll try not to chew ice when I'm around you.
Yeah, thank you. That's how we remain friends.
My kids are on vacation. Two of my kids are on vacation together right now. And they were at a restaurant and they saw a sign that says chewable ice. And it was like one of those ice dispensers for just the tiny little crushed ice. And my daughter sent me a text with that picture. And she's like, "This is for you, Mom." Oh. Love it.
Oh,
so
okay.
Good.
So, get in touch with me, please, Kim, through Instagram or on Ravelry. I am Indigo Chicken Dolls on Instagram and Indigo Chicken on Ravelry. And then we will get your prize out to you.
Yes. And I'll just go ahead and send you this pattern since I've already got your Ravelry information.
Yay.
So we're both sitting here knitting away. Have a little bit of a chat about life.
Yeah.
How is life?
Life is good. I was thinking, what am I going to share? Nothing's happened. And then I realized, wow, there's just so much that's happened that it just overwhelms. Lost in a haze. So, I didn't bring her out. I was going to bring out our little puppy, Luna. We had her spayed. She is now safe to be around other dogs without me panicking all the time that we're going to end up with little puppies. And we had lots of entertainment with the cone on her head.
Poor Luna.
I know. We had that. Then we had a little...
I think sometimes I need a
cone. A cone of shame.
Like, you can't be trusted to not, do harm.
To not do yarn.
To not do harm.
And I said do yarn.
Well, of course I'm not trusted with that.
was trying to figure out what that meant, to not do harm.
Thank you for laughing anyway when you thought I was really lame.
Well, I was trying to understand, and that's what was so funny about it. Okay, anyways. Then I had a little water mishap in my sewing room here, where we had a water line burst and kind of a mini flood kind of in here, but everything's good. We're all good. And but one big thing is that one of my dear friends, she was my best friend when she lived 3 houses down from me for 10 years. I just discovered she was originally from Saudi Arabia, and her mother left with her daughter and brought her here to the U.S. to have a little bit safer life. And so the English is her second language, and she's just a really neat woman. But she moved a while ago, and it was really sad because she was my dearest friend. And I just found out that she had a heart attack and died. And then the responders actually were able to revive her amazingly, but she had 20 minutes of not enough oxygen, and so she is in a long-term coma, and it's just really, really heartbreaking for me. So, not to start everything out on a downer, but it's really sad. Anyways, but I get to go visit her because what's beautiful for me, and maybe not for her, that she's lived far away for a long time, is that they've transferred her, I just found out, to a hospital near me, so I get to go and sit with her. So, anyways, that's just a really sad thing. I don't know why I'm sharing it, other than it's nice to have somebody to tell.
Yeah, it's part of life.
Yeah. Do you remember her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, she has 7 children, and she's just a really neat person. Anyways.
So you'll get to go and visit her.
Yeah, I'm going to go see her family this weekend, and then I'll get to go and visit her each week. So.
Well, that's awesome.
Anyways, okay, now I hope you have better news to share, Emily.
Yes, I think. My life is just crazy. Summer is crazy. Summer is always crazy for everybody, but it's times 100 million for me, I guess, compared to the rest of my year. So, but things are going well with our programs and with my new church responsibilities, and things are good. So my son has been home from his mission. You guys got to see his homecoming, our reunion on our last episode, and he got a job. So my daughter Aria, my son Ethan, and Deborah's daughter Claire all work at the same place now.
Yeah.
Which they're just gradually taking over this restaurant that they work at.
That's good.
It is good. They really like them there. They're always telling them, bring your friends. They're short-handed, and they like the brand of work ethic that our kids have. So good. They always want them to bring their friends in. That's good to
hear. That's really nice to hear that we've done well in that area with our children.
Our kids know how to work.
And I don't know if it's necessarily me, but I think that my children Claire, she was just born that way, being a hard worker.
Oh, she's got a good example from her parents, too. So, anyway, our kids are all working together. They're having a great time. My 2 middle kids, Aria and Isaac, are on vacation together. Aria just decided to do this trip and took her younger brother, and they're having a great time. They come home, actually, later today. And so Abby and I have been having fun, just being the 2 of us, and that's been really fun. She and I have had a good time. We've gone and done a few little fun things, but I'm mostly looking forward to September 2nd, because on September 2nd, I'll be on the other side of this big event and can take a little bit of a breather.
I completely understand that feeling. At the same time, I don't like that everybody is wishing away the summer. Can I just live right now in the beauty of summer, which I love? I finally decided spring and fall were always my favorite, but now it's actually summer.
Really?
I love summer so much.
Wow.
And anytime somebody's like, oh, there's so many more days till fall, I cry a little. And I'm like, just let me live in summer right now without the loom of what's the gloom,
the
threat of what's looming overhead, of what's to come.
Which is winter?
Yeah. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's winter. It just means it's that much closer to winter.
I really feel like I finally figured out my ranking of holidays.
Okay.
So from least favorite to most favorite. Least favorite is winter. Not the beginning of winter, but the
holidays or seasons?
No, season. I'm sorry, seasons. Yeah. The last half of winter. I hate it so much.
It's because winter in Utah lasts for sometimes 2/3 of the year.
Yeah. No, maybe not quite.
No, it does. Because if it starts snowing in October and it doesn't stop until May, because that happens.
Yeah, occasionally it does, but most of the time.
Most of the time
you get one or the other of those.
It starts in November. This last year it started in December.
Yeah,
but
was
it
lovely.
Went all through May.
But for me, my least favorite season is January and February. And then my second least favorite is summer. I actually don't like summer. I don't like the heat. It's so stressful.
I can understand that, though.
It's like there's no downtime. It's just move. So that's really hard. And I actually hibernate inside as much or more in the summer than I do in the winter because I hate the heat.
I love summer. I hate the heat, but I love summer. So I feel like everything I love about summer overcomes the issue of heat.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's nice and...
Then spring is wonderful, but fall.
Oh. Fall. Yeah. Yeah, I do love... I love
today,
spring and fall.
It's been raining this morning,
and
it cooled off about 10 degrees.
Lovely.
Oh.
It is lovely.
Yeah.
We just have a fan blowing on us right now. And are you surviving?
Right now I am.
If I go like this, you'll get more of the air. But I look like I have a tiny head.
Especially if I go like this. See?
That's one of our episodes, how we looked through the whole episode.
We did that.
Okay.
What idiots. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So we have finished objects that we were going to share. We, meaning Emily. Then we have works in progress, which I will join in on that. Then we have a new segment that we want to introduce along with some just fun and lighthearted discussion.
Yes, and it includes a knit along too.
Yes. And then shop update at the end.
Yay!
So now, Emily, it's time for you to take it away.
Okay, so I have a few finished objects.
Except for you're halfway off screen. Not really. There. Okay. There.
It's just because I keep leaning over like this, so now I'm halfway off screen. Okay, so I've been on a sock kick. So first of all, I finished my rainbow socks. I'm calling these my rainbow socks, even though they're not a full rainbow, because they have 5 different colors. And I entered them into the J&A Rainbow Along that Jules of So Sweet Violet and Amy of the Little Taylor S podcast are hosting. Were hosting together last month. And just ended 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So this yarn is from Amy. This is her dandelion and dogwood yarn. This colorway that's the self-striping is called Bloom. And it came with a matching orange mini for heels and toes, but I wanted to enter it into the rainbow along, so I put the blue in instead. So they're just plain my favorite vanilla socks, 68 stitch count on 2.25 millimeters. Really simple. I did these were my afterthought everything socks. So I just started at one cuff, this one I think, and then I knit all the way down, all the way to this cuff, and then later went in and separated them and put in the toes and then cut in for the heels. So that was really fun.
And did you see all the suggestions about different
I did, and in the end I've decided I'm gonna leave them for now. You can see on the sock blockers that they don't look much different at the cuff. But off the sock blockers, this one that's the bind off cuff is much looser than the cast on. So I still don't know what I would do. I mean, like, that's still holding me up from wanting to cast on another pair of afterthought everything. But I don't know if it will continue to. I mean, just right now I'm not doing that.
I think I did the sewn bind off method for mine, if I remember correctly.
Did you like that?
And I think they fit fine, because I don't remember there being any issue with it being too loose.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember. Off the top of my head, that's what I can recall.
Well, I thought those were super fun.
Because I did try. I would bind off and then I ripped it back. And I tried
that's what I did
different
too.
ones, and I think that's the one I settled on.
Was the sewn bind off. Well, I'll look into that. I don't think I've done that one before.
It's really simple.
All right, here's finished socks number 2. This is the first pair of socks I have knit for my husband. It's a miracle. So these socks, I just did ribbing. So it's a 2x2 cuff and then a 3x1 ribbing throughout the leg and then just in the top here of the foot with a slip stitch heel and a rounded wedge toe, which is pretty much my typical sock that I like to knit. And he's tried them on. He likes them, the fit of them. Yay. He's not going to wear them right now. I mean, he works so many hours and he works in, he's a mechanic, so his socks are like filthy nasty. He wouldn't wear them to work. Mm-hmm. And when he comes home, he doesn't want to put on wool socks because it's like 8 million degrees outside. But they're there ready for fall and he likes the fit, so we'll see. If he gets some use out of them, then I will be knitting him more.
That's good.
These were knit out of the Shoppe jeans ball in a colorway that I can't remember.
Wasn't it denim?
Well, they're all, it's jeans ball.
Oh, sorry.
So they're all denim. It's
I'm trying to remember now that
I'll find out.
See, you remember mine usually for me. I should remember yours, but I can't.
I actually remember the other colorway that I got, what the name of it was, but I don't remember this one right now. It was something, I think, like vintage indigo. You know what? Don't even quote me on that. I could just be making that up. So that's the second pair of finished socks. Now here's my third pair of finished socks.
Way to go.
I have been on a sock kick.
Wow, you just started those on the 24th.
I started these on the 24th, and I finished them in 4 days. I just knit fantastic. Like crazy on them. So
those are so fun.
They're just really fun. I don't want to put them on sock blockers. I'm too lazy right now. So this yarn is Manos del Uruguay Alegria, and the colorway is Carnival. And they look so stripy in the camera. I mean, they look stripy in person, but not quite as stripy dramatic as they appear in the camera.
Well, they swirl. It swirls around.
Yeah,
the
they
leg,
definitely
and it's
do.
Fun. I think that's perfect for the colorway.
Yeah,
too.
aren't they fun?
Yeah, they are.
So these are for either me or for Aria. We wear the same size socks. So
I love it.
Probably for me. I'll just keep them. So those are my 3 pair of finished socks since the last time. But this is the most exciting finished object. Okay, this is my new shawl design. And it doesn't have a name yet, so I'm actually going to have a contest. But here it is.
Ooh.
And it's
okay. Gotta do the across the
pan
screen.
Across. You have to see the border too. It's got a kind of a ribbed border. But this stitch pattern is my favorite. It's so pretty. This
is lovely.
And it's huge.
Ooh, lovely.
It's really big.
Yes, this will be so nice for the fall.
It's nearly 3 full skeins of colorway, or of colors, of, what am I trying to say? 3 full skeins of yarn, fingering weight yarn. I can't actually put it on apparently right now. I think my body's just rebelling against the idea of wearing a shawl right now. It's like, take it off. Anyway, it's so big and luscious. And I knit this in 2 of my colorways, the Just Jane colorway, which is this gray with speckly purple and green, just lightly speckled. And then in the Garden, which is this rosy pink, also with speckles of like mossy green in it.
Very pretty.
And anyway, I want to release this pattern soon, so I am looking for just a few test knitters. And I will probably, I don't know. I'm not necessarily putting out a call for test knitters, although if you feel really inspired, go ahead and message me. But I also, what I want to do is a name. I need to come up with a name for the shawl. And so I'm going to do a naming contest. So if you have an idea of a name, I'd like to have it be something to do with, I don't know, blush or rose or petal or something along those lines. But if you have a name, send it on to me. You can either send it to me on Ravelry or you can message me on Instagram. And if I pick your name, then you'll get a free copy of that pattern. So anyway, I'm hoping to release that in September. That'll be coming out.
That is so pretty.
I love it. And I like the little contrast border
Yeah.
in the bind off right there. It's just a tiny hint of pink right at the edge. It's really fun.
It's very pretty. Very nice.
So I need to do pictures and all of it. But I love that pretty stitch right here. It's so fun.
Good job, Emily.
Thank you, Deborah.
Well done.
Okay, I have to break out the
such
fan.
a talented sister.
I'm starting. Oh, ditto. Starting to get hot. I've got to find my fan.
Okay, we figured out the fan situation.
Yay.
All is well for now. Okay. Time for works in progress.
Yes. Why don't you start us off?
Okay, I mentioned last time that I had no knitting that I could do on the podcast, which was a tragedy, I tell you. And usually I knit on socks, and I didn't have any socks on the needle, so I started some shorty socks for 2 of my daughters, and I let them pick out the yarn they wanted. And so Ella picked out this skein of Fool's Gold by Hedgehog Fibers. She always surprises me with the colors that she chooses, but she said that this actually should not be called Fool's Gold. It should be called Best of Friends because it looks like R2D2 and C3PO colors.
That is true. It does.
So that's what she says. So I've been doing a shorty sock, and I'm on the first one, and I'm almost to the toe. And I just did a short cuff, and then I didn't knit the heel flap quite as long so that this would not come up as high on the ankle. And then I will put some elastic thread in here like I did on my pair.
I like that little garter ridge around the bottom of it.
Just to separate the ribbing from the body of the sock.
I like it.
So I'm knitting these on a size 0 because this is just a little bit lighter weight of fingering yarn, and so I went down a stitch size and increased to 64 stitches instead of 60, so that I'd have a better fabric, finished fabric on here.
Yeah, that is the thing about Hedgehog sock. It is definitely a finer weight.
Yeah, and I'm knitting these on my 9-inch circular. And it took me a while because it's been a while since I've knit on the 9-inch circulars to get back in the rhythm of it, and my hands were tired until I remembered just relax and just keep everything loose and don't grip onto the needles like I normally do. It's just really, really light. I just hold it really lightly and then relax, and it just flows along.
Nice.
So there's my first work in progress, and the nice thing about knitting shorties is that knitting one sock for me is really the equivalent of knitting half of a sock, typically, because I always knit long legs. So it's kind of nice.
It is lovely. Excellent. How many works in progress do you have?
I don't know, 4 or 5.
Yeah, why don't you do another one? Because I've got only 2.
Okay, I'll show you the other sock the other shorty socks. For my youngest, for Nadia, she has been begging me to knit her some socks from this yarn that I got from Little Tailoress, from Amy, and it's called All the Christmas Candy, and it has silver stellina in it, and she just loved that it has these pale minty green colors that I don't know that you can really see in the camera, and light pinks. And I did the same thing for her. I knit a shorty sock, and I measured her foot, I put it on her foot, and then I waited a day and did the toe, and then it was too small. I'm like, did your foot seriously grow that much in a day? Either that or I'm terrible at measuring. So I have to rip the toe out and go knit another ½ inch. Seriously, I put it on her foot. I put it on, I measured, I'm like, oh good, we're there. We're at the toes, we'll put the toe in, and then she puts it back on. She's like, Mom, it's way too small. So
it's probably a combination of the two because they grow so fast.
I've had that happen before where I bought my children shoes.
Yes.
And then the next week they go to put them on and they're complaining that they don't have any shoes. And I'm like, we just bought them. They don't fit. I'm like, I just had your feet measured. We bought them. They were fine. I went back, had their feet remeasured, and they had grown 2 sizes. I had 2 daughters that did that at the same time.
It's like they just shoot up. That's Isaac.
In 1 week.
He went to scout camp, Boy Scout camp, and he came home, and I'm just looking at him. I'm like,
what happened?
You got taller. And he goes, no, I didn't. And I'm like, yes, you did. You got taller while you were gone, like visibly taller. And I had him stand next to Ethan. And when Ethan came home from his mission 1 month ago, Isaac was still an inch shorter than him. And now he's a tiny bit taller than him. I'm not kidding.
That is so fast. So fast.
He's at that age where it's just...
That's what happens. That's why they eat a lot when I sleep a lot. I started the second sock. It looks funny like this.
It's like a large wide mouth bass.
We need to like make a little video of it. Well, we're making a video right now, but okay, but like this is a character. What's his name? I don't know. What does he do? Okay, I don't have that much free time on my hands, people. I can't be making little videos of sock characters.
No, you can't.
But
you really should.
I need a name for this little guy or girl. Okay, anyways, so I have
his name is Luis.
Socks. No, I can't do it accents. I need to get Claire in here to do an accent. She will do a really great one for me.
Okay. Cute shorty sock.
Okay.
Oh man.
There's some works in progress.
All right. So I'm working away on a pair of socks again because I just feel the need to have all the socks going. So this, okay, I have to tell you a story about this yarn. This gorgeous yarn from Spectrum Fibers. Love her, love her, love her. Which, I didn't put the label in. Now I can't remember the name of it. I'll put the name of it up. But anyway, I love her colors. You can't tell. It looks very pastel here. And you can't see the neon green as much. Like the highlighter color. But it's, anyway, it's just so pretty. Love her stuff. Anyway, I had planned this along with 3 other colorways for a shawl design. Which I messed around with and restarted like 5 times, and then I finally just stopped and cast on socks because I really want to use this yarn and I want it to be showcased, and it was getting lost in with the others, and anyway, and now I'm mad at that shawl, so I'm not doing it.
You're not friends.
So anyway, I'm just knitting along. I've got the leg done. I've done the heel flap and turn, and I'm working on my gusset decreases, and this is how I do them, where I use a longer cable. I use a 40-inch cable for my magic loop, and I put a loop at each of my decrease points and then at the bottom of the heel, and that's actually the way that I describe it in my Aria socks pattern too, so you can see how that all works.
So it's kind of like knitting with 3 needles.
Yeah.
But you're on magic loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've done it that way. I definitely like having mine divided in half.
Yeah.
But that is a nice way.
This is a way for me to just keep track of where all my stitches are, and my front stitches, so the ones from the front of the leg, always just stay here. Mm-hmm. They don't ever move,
get divided or
or anything like that. So anyway, as soon as I get back to my stitch count for my foot, I just go back to having the 2 needle, 2 sides, a front and a back of my knitting. But I'm just cruising along on these. I cast these on day before yesterday, maybe. Yeah, I think it was day before yesterday, and I didn't have any knitting time yesterday. So that's what I did in a day. So it's kind of fun.
Wow, good job. You show that also on your video, the sock knitting video? No, I did the magic loop.
You did magic loop, yeah.
No, you just showed that another time on here. We have
another
had
time.
a lot of people ask for us to do another series, Toe Up. But we are not toe-up experts.
Nope, we're not.
And there are people who are.
And we don't want to become toe-up experts in order to do a tutorial.
I mean, I've been learning about knitting toe-up socks.
I'm about to knit my first pair of toe-up socks.
Good, good. Yeah, I've done a handful of them, but I have to always think really hard when I do it. When I do top down, cuff down, I don't really have to think. So that's the nice way. You know, I've done enough of it that I just start and go.
Right.
So...
Well, and that's why I'm so fast on these socks is that, first of all, I hardly ever have to look at my hands while I'm knitting. They just go. Other than, like, when I do my decrease or increase, I'll often look at them just to make sure I'm on the right row. And then, you know, sometimes when I'm reorienting my needle or, the toes and stuff. But most of the time I just zoom along. And so I can actually knit while I'm in a meeting or... when my husband and I are driving to a meeting, which happens pretty much like
every day.
Yeah. Love the summer. Sorry.
That was very happy. Love the summer. That was like manic. I love the summer.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. It's really hard when you are working really hard on a really great goal. And you're really excited about it, but it still takes every waking and most sleeping moments to accomplish it. And so that means that there's not really a lot of room for other things.
Right. And that's actually the biggest problem. It's not that I don't like what I do. It's just
you love it. That's why you do
love it. Yeah. It's just that it gets draining because I don't have any time to recharge, and that becomes a bit of a challenge. But I don't remember if we ever announced, because most of you, aren't really familiar with my role with Heroic Youth, but a year ago I stepped down from the position as the head of Crowned with Virtue, and we have somebody else doing that. And so that's why Emily is the one that's, she's still doing that, but I'm not involved in that at this time. So... but super supportive of me.
Yeah, but I completely know what you're doing, what you're going through, and how hard it is, but wonderful. It's always rewarding.
It is good. It's very good.
Yeah. Okay.
More works in progress. That was one of my works in progress, though, Heroic Youth.
Yes. I probably should put some of these back in the bags, so that I have room to pull out.
I guess you can't knit on all of them at the same time.
I have been trying really hard to do that.
You could knit with your toes and then knit a different project with your hands. Then you'd be crazy.
Yes, pretty much. I have put aside the China Rose wrap for the last few weeks. I needed to finish the lace, and I kind of put it in timeout just because I was a little bit, I don't know, burned out or frustrated, and thought it's not going to end up how I want it. It smells good. And then after a little while I picked it up again, and I felt happy vibes for it again.
That's always good.
And I finished the lace, and actually once I started again, I remembered just how nice the rhythm is of knitting lace. Like, if you can get that rhythm down, it's just really soothing and enjoyable. And I was really sad when I got to the end and thought maybe I'll just knit it all, the rest of it lace. But then I wouldn't have enough yarn to do it, anyways, to finish it off. So I will work on this, but not a lot, because I have other things that need to take priority right now, take the time. So I am just working on these stripes that continue for a little while, and then I start to decrease to get the corner going. But you know what it smells like? It smells like the swimming pool. It smells like summer.
Oh yeah,
I took it with us to the pool several times.
Like not being in the pool.
No,
just
not like that gross pool,
like the
but
fresh
just
air around the pool.
Yeah.
Around the outdoor pool.
Okay, we went to the pool this week. First of all, It was so hot.
Oh.
It was so hot. I could have fried an egg on the sidewalk. I'm not kidding. Like, the water was so hot. You try to get in the water to cool off, and it didn't cool you off. It was just too hot. While we were there was this guy that was walking around. He just looked off. Like, just something. He just caught my attention. He walked in front of me and just caught my attention. And I was just like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to be watching this guy. So I was watching him, and he just is slowly... I mean, he's fully dressed, so he's not there to swim. And he has a wristband on, which means he paid to get in. He didn't have any logo. He wasn't with the facilities or anything. And he's just slowly walking around, and he walked up into... almost to a group of people, but not into where they were sitting, and just turned around and just watched everything and everybody, and then slowly walked to another area and just kind of watched everything and kept doing that. But he walked like over to where there's a splash pad. He's not in the splash pad, and there's nothing that, I don't know. But then he started going to the fences where they have locks and started inspecting the locks. And then, anyway, so I go and get security. He's not with anybody. He's not getting in people's stuff. He's not necessarily checking out specific kids or anything, but he was off. Do you ever get that where you see somebody and you're like, I know something's not right? So I went and got security, and then he was gone. They couldn't find him. But I always feel like he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything wrong. He just was off. And... oftentimes I'd feel like, oh, well, I don't want to judge somebody unfairly or whatever, but I feel like it's important that you listen to your gut and that you do something when you feel that something's not right. And, you know, yeah, he wasn't doing anything wrong, but I just felt like something wasn't right there, and you should do something when you feel that.
Absolutely.
So... Don't let those moments pass by
listen
without
to your
doing
gut.
Something.
For sure, listen to your gut. Yeah. I 100% agree with you on that. It was
so weird. It was so weird. And the thing is that nobody else noticed that there's this weird random guy walking up, standing next to him, looking around. They're just like oblivious.
When you're in a big crowd like that, that's what's dangerous, though, is that you don't notice. But it's kind of interesting because, like, some of the things you described, I don't know, my writer brain is kicking in. Those are the kinds of things you would describe. Like, go and stand next to a group, but not with it. Yeah. Like, it looks like maybe you're part of that group. So if anybody else is watching you, you look
That's
like
what
you're
I
with
was
the group.
thinking. But then I was like, no, he's not in that group. Then he walks to another area. But when he started inspecting, it was like he was checking out the facility and what...
Yeah.
Creepy. I don't know. It was so weird.
Creepy.
So, anyways, I'm like, we're going to pack up and go. Okay, girls, it's hot anyways, so let's go. Okay, more works in progress?
Yes, so I am getting closer. I'm just piddling along, as my mom would say, on my bluebird cardie that I'm making for Abby. I knit this one for me earlier this year, and this is where I am. So it's all knit and blocked, and I seamed the shoulders. And it's just waiting for the trim around the sleeves and around the front. And it's fun because I purposefully, the skein that I was knitting with was kind of one of my seconds, if you will, of my yarn in the Elton's colorway. And it was more heavily speckled on one end of the yarn to lightly speckled. So I thought it would be fun because this is so far been one skein project. Of course, the problem is that one skein wasn't exactly enough, so I don't have the same yarn to do the trim. So I'm just going to be using an undyed. In fact, I just grabbed an undyed mini of a bear, but I think it'll be just fine. It'll just blend really nice. Right in and look just great with that. So anyway, I'm going to be doing that. I think this pattern is so great. I originally found it to be part of Amber Lindemann. She's the yarn hoarder of her, I think it was like Unsung Heroes Kal, to go find projects that had less than 30, or find patterns that had less than 30 projects on Ravelry.
That was what my China Rose one was.
And I really like this pattern. The only alteration I made on mine, and I'm going to do to this one, is that this pattern calls for a ribbing trim at the sleeve, but then a garter trim around the neck. And I just think that would be way too busy to have ribbing, garter, lace, and have every one of your edges be a different trim. And so I just decided I didn't like that. So I just did 2x2 rib on both the sleeves and on the neck band. Yeah,
of your other one that you made for you. And you're
I'm
going
to
do
the same thing on this one, yes. Okay. But I think that the lace trim at the bottom is just really fun. In the speckles, it's very simple. It's kind of a funny thing to knit because you knit it from the bottom up, and it's a cropped cardigan, so it's short and wide because it's knit flat. And then it's all stockinette, like this is all stockinette, so it just rolls like crazy. So it just looks like this long wide thing that doesn't make any sense. And then you block it and seam the shoulders, and all of a sudden you have a sweater. It looks great.
It's beautiful.
So, anyway, I'm getting ready to add the trim to that.
You have been a crazy knitter.
Well, the funny thing about it is that I find that the more stressed I am, the faster I knit, and the more I need to knit in whatever downtime I have, because that's like my sanity, you know. So when normally I might not take advantage of a 15-minute here or there kind of a thing for knitting, because I have plenty of knitting time, and so it's not that big of a deal. I always have a project with me right now, and I always take those 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, because I desperately need it to.
Well, and I'll find myself doing that where I'm just like almost manically knitting because
I kind of am, actually, yeah.
And then when I notice that, I try to like breathe deep and purposefully slow down, because when I do that, it slows my heart rate down.
Yeah.
So that then it relaxes me, because if I'm manically knitting, I find that it feeds the manic for me to knit as opposed to calm the manic.
I don't think that that's the same for me. I feel like I'm releasing that manic feeling as I knit. So even if I knit really fast, which, you know, I tend to knit.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with knitting
pretty
fast
quick, but not like, you know, I'm not like a super fast knitter, but I just, it just is like, I don't know. There's something so therapeutic about making order out of chaos. This chaotic, I mean, even though it's a ball, it's still a chaotic pile of yarn. And putting it into the order of these stitches all in their nice little rows.
Emily, you are sounding a lot like me right now.
I know.
It's frightening.
It's lovely.
You need to be more random, please.
Well, I am. Look at what I choose to knit and the colors I use.
Yeah. Okay, I have started, since we last met, another shawl. So I have been very good at not casting on a million things, but in the last couple of weeks I cast on more than I typically would. I'm happy to have like one shawl on the go and like 2 socks, but I've got 2 pairs of socks and 3 shawls, and that's probably part of what makes me feel kind of manic, like, oh, I gotta finish one of them, I gotta focus on one, but I want them all done now, so I can't decide, you know. But I started a Birds of a Feather shawl.
Look how pretty that is.
With some of my own yarn. Oh, I love it.
It's so lovely.
So one thing that I did is I used a contrasting color to add on the solid garter sections. I added a border of 2 rows of contrast color on each end. And on the lace section, I'm not doing that. But I just thought that would add a little bit of another fun element to it.
So pretty.
And that's the Birds of a Feather shawl by
Andrea Mowry.
Yes. But she calls it, let's see, Drea Renee Knits. This yarn was my Shirley Temple colorway, and then Seafoam Mini. It takes 2 skeins of your main color and 1 skein of fingering weight Mohair. Well, 1 skein, that's a how many lace weight? It's 50 grams, and I don't remember how many yards, but anyways. So this is my Cotton Candy Bubblegum colorway. So that's what I'm knitting.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, that's the back, all the ends. I weave in the ends as I go because if I do that, then I don't mind knitting shawls. But if I don't, especially when you have multiple things, by the time I get to the end,
there.
I'm just like, why did I do this? I hate this project. So if I do it as I go, then I'm happy with it. And knitting with mohair is really fun because it goes faster than you think when you're knitting on a larger needle. I keep thinking, oh, it's lace, it's going to take forever, but it seems to just zoom along and it's really enjoyable. But if it's at all humid, then it's sticky on your hand. So it's a good thing we live where it's dry as a bone.
Yeah. Except for today with all the rain.
Today it's a little bit humid, which is nice.
I do have one more work in progress. This I love. So this is my granny stripe blanket and it's just growing. I've got it folded in half here because we don't need to see all the width. But this is how many stripes I've done so far. And it's so fun. It's just so much fun. I love it. Look at that. It's got such a good weight and drape to it. It's going to be the best blanket.
I love all the colors that you have in here.
So I'm more than a third of the way now, I think. Because I'm trying, I'm going to go to 60 stripes. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, no, I'm right at a third.
Okay.
So this is 20 stripes. And my plan is to go to 60. And then I'll see if it needs more from that point. But I'm planning on this being a throw. So a good size throw. One that's really good for watching TV, snuggling up under watching TV.
Yeah.
But it's so fun. So I just have been adding, I think that the last time I showed it, I think I was like maybe right here. And I've done that many since then, something like that. So I haven't done a ton since then. But it's because it's not a take-a-long project, but it's just so fun to do it. And I've got my little bird progress keeper. I don't know if you can see that from Jules.
That is really cute.
Love that. So that helps me remember which side is the front. Anyway, super fun. I've got some of your colorways in here too.
Fun. I have one more for you. I'll give you.
Yay. I love it. Love it, love it.
Okay, I have a really silly project here that I was going to share with you. So we have a local knit night that we've organized with some just wonderful, fun people. And we are having tonight an unbirthday party celebration. You know, it's to celebrate everybody's birthday at one time in the year rather than individually throughout the year. And so I have been making mome wreaths. Don't step on the mome wreaths. Sorry for some decoration.
Out grabe. I love it.
Anyways, I have a whole bunch of these here. I don't have any googly eyes. I really need googly eyes.
I don't have any either.
I mean, this was just so random
They're
and silly.
so fun.
I mean, not like this is really anything worthy of taking a lot of airtime here, but come on. They're mome wreaths.
I love it.
Everybody should see that. So we have some mome wreaths and some other fun decorations that I've been working on. And I was going to have my daughter make 1,000,000 of these pom-poms, but I found them on clearance at Michael's. I'm like, that'll save me hours.
Yeah.
So I just bought a whole bunch of pom-poms and glued some pipe cleaners in, and now I need to put some googly eyes on. So if you guys are in serious need of mome wreaths, that's how you make them. Come on.
Are you going to set them up so they make a little arrow?
No, I decided not to. I decided they need to, because they started out random.
Oh, did they? And then they ran together into the arrow.
Into the arrow after.
That's how it worked.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're in the random phase here.
I love it.
Start. But anyways, it's fun. And I made some garlands with some playing cards here. See, this is what I love about parties.
I love it when you make these things because I look at that and I go, oh my gosh, I would never have thought to do that.
Oh, fun. Okay,
that
anyways,
is so
I have several
fun.
of these that I've created.
I would never have thought of that.
My daughter is making me, because you have to wear a fun hat to the tea party, my daughter is making me a hat out of these cards that looks like a teacup from playing cards. So on like a little headband, like a fascinator kind of thing.
Wow.
So she's making that for me right now as we speak.
I want to see a picture of it.
So I'll have to post.
You have to take pictures of the whole thing because I won't be there and I'll be sad to miss it.
I'll try and remember to do that. So anyways, that's just kind of a fun thing. I'm excited for that tonight. I'm sad we have a few people that can't come tonight. But I'm happy that it's raining because then it will cool down.
It will, yeah.
Because we're going to be outside. Okay,
all
that's
right.
my
Any
work
other
in
works
progress.
in progress? None for me.
Okay. Well, it is time for a new segment. We're going to give you a little bit of information first. Let's have a little discussion, Emily.
Okay. Let's have a discussion.
I went and saw a movie. It's a documentary called Won't You Be My Neighbor? Have any of you seen it? If you haven't, go see it. Go see it. We have always been big fans of Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Yes, he is a remarkable person.
Even though we made fun of him a lot too.
We made fun of him because there were things that he did that were quirky and that were silly. But I feel after watching that documentary, I almost felt like that was sacrilegious.
Like, how dare we?
Exactly.
Yes.
Because he is such an amazing man. Such an amazing man. But what was so amazing about him is that he had this quiet energy that permeated through so many areas of the world, all from doing simple, quiet things. Yeah. And he would take time to just sit down and listen and explain the most simple things and just be still and be quiet and listen for a while. But anyways, watching that has really inspired me to be more kind and more loving. Which he always did inspire in that way, but it was just such a good, powerful, like all at one time, just compact everything wonderful about him into this, 2-hour nugget of just pure joy and love. So, go see it. Anyways.
I'm going to go see it.
Yeah. That has inspired kind of a movement that we want to share with you and we want to spread. Do you want to tell us all about it?
Well, sure. I mean, I think you should. Deborah came up with the title of it, so I think you should share
Okay.
that.
It is Kindness is Like Sugar. And I posted on Candy Shop Yarns, my Instagram account, kind of a little graphic there where I shared a story of a way that someone has been kind to me in our community. But we really want to help spread that message across to every area that we can, not just in our knitting community, but in life in general.
Right.
What were you
Well, I was just going to say, there's so many places that there's harshness and so much of being critical or I don't know, this kind of a lack of gentleness and civility. But we don't want to focus on what we don't want, because sometimes I think that's what we tend toward. We try to tear down that thing that we think is a bad thing, but we want to just build up what we do want. We want to focus on what we do want. And what we do want is more love, more kindness, more gentleness, more looking out for each other in little ways. And like Deborah said, not just in our knitting community, because it's an awesome community and we kind of have there's a lot of times we have a good thing going here.
Yeah.
Like, how can we spread that to our neighbors and to our family and to the people we come in contact with at work or at the store, whatever small little things that we do. How can we bring some more kindness to make life sweeter?
Yes. So we want to share each episode a little story of how somebody has shown kindness to us. And Emily had one that I don't know what it is. So I'm excited to hear what that's going to be that she's going to tell us about.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys have kind of got the gist that I've been a little bit stressed out. And I was just having a really hard time last week. My husband was out of town and I was home and just feeling just the weight of all the responsibilities and the work. And I don't know, just, you know how it gets to all of us sometimes. And I was just feeling really overwhelmed, and I got a text from a friend of mine that said, let's do lunch today. And I said, I am in, I want to do this, you know. So she says, I'm going to come pick you up and take you to lunch. Well, the funny thing about that is that the restaurant that we were going to is really close to her house, and I live about a half an hour away from them. So I'm kind of like, why is she picking me up to take me to lunch and then bring me home, and then she has to drive home? And I said, well, I can meet you there. She goes, no, I've got this all planned out. I'm going to come pick you up. So she pulls up and she comes to the door, and she just, without saying anything, she just gives me a big hug. And she said, I just had a feeling that you needed me today. And those weren't her exact words. I don't remember exactly what they were, but that was the meaning of it. So, the whole point of the picking me up was just more talk time in the car, right? That was the whole point of it, so that we would have that time to just, you know, there's no kids around, safe place. You're not at the restaurant where people are listening in, and you can just vent and cry if you need to, which I did. And anyway, just spend all that time. And then she picked up the bill at lunch, which she didn't need to do, but was so sweet. Anyway, and through all of that, she just really listened to me. And that is one of the things I think that we all need, is somebody to just listen to us without judgment, without advice, without fixing our problems for us. Just listen. And so she was an angel for me that day. And not only that, but then she's checked up on me the last few days. You know, how are you doing today? How are you feeling about things? And now we're doing, on Friday night, we're doing a little getaway, just the two of us.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
So she's actually, and I feel like almost guilty about this, but she's like, don't feel guilty about it. She's sending her whole family camping. And she and I are going to go and spend the night at her house and watch movies and eat food and just be together. And her, you know, she's like, please don't apologize, because my kids are thrilled and my husband's totally happy about it. But I'm like, I'm kicking your whole family out of the house. But anyway, you know, sometimes it's hard to accept when people do nice things for us. And that's one of the biggest things. It's a hard thing for us to overcome, because we want to always be the one to give, which is great to give, but also let people give to you too, because
if there's nobody to give to, we
don't get to have that opportunity and feel that love that you get from giving.
Yeah. And I think that the giving, it's not necessarily of things, but of your time and of yourself and of listening, which that's a fantastic example of that. One thing that Mr. Rogers is really good at is loving people unconditionally and to listen without judgment, like you were saying, which is perfect. And so one of the things that he says, and I'm just going to have to paraphrase because I didn't look this up exactly, but he was saying that you have value just being you, that you don't have to do or be anything sensational in order to have value and in order to feel love. And I think that that's something that we often feel that we don't have value if we aren't accomplishing something, or exactly. My youngest daughter is actually really struggling with this right now, and she is really having a hard time understanding that she has value just being her. You know, that each of you have value and deserve to be loved exactly how you are. Exactly how you are. Absolutely. You don't have to do anything special to earn that right to be valued. So
I love Brené Brown saying, "You are worthy of love and belonging."
Yes.
Yes, we all are.
So we are going to have a knit along.
Well, pause just a second before we go on. We want to invite anybody else, especially if you're a podcaster, to, well, let me rephrase that. Anybody to share something that somebody has done that it was kindness that added sweetness to your life. Kindness is like sugar. Just share it. Is that right?
Yep. Kindness is like sugar.
Okay. Share it with that hashtag. Post it on Instagram. We would love to see that.
Yes. Yes. You can tag us if you want so that we can see it.
Yes.
But you don't have to. That's not the point of it.
Right.
We just want to spread the message. If you want, there is an image on Candy Shop Yarns on my Instagram account that you are welcome to use with that hashtag. You don't need to, but you can.
Right. And then maybe, tag some friends that you think that you'd like to hear them share something, you know, if you feel like that's the right thing.
So that this quiet voice can become the main voice that you hear, as opposed to any voices of negativity that may sometimes overwhelm.
Yeah.
And so we can just have this quietness become the predominant message that we share everywhere.
One of the things that I think I've kind of been having an awakening, and this is something I've known, but like I'm experiencing it right now, is how love is strength. And that's one of my greatest strengths, is when I can love somebody, even somebody who feels or seems unlovable or who doesn't want it. But when I can love them, that I feel stronger. I feel more, I don't know how to, it's not like a stronger than you kind of strength. It's just I feel stronger than I was before kind of a strength. And so that's exactly what we're going for.
Well, and to love is to be vulnerable, but that vulnerability is not weakness, like you were saying.
No.
That is not at all. And so, yeah, we just encourage everyone to be a little kinder than is necessary in everything that you do, in the checkout line at the grocery store to let someone go in front of you, or the
rude cashier to
just give them the benefit of the doubt and just have kind feelings towards the person that took the parking spot that you may have been waiting for, or whatever it may be. Whatever, it doesn't need to be a big thing. So just share that love.
And if you're a podcaster and you want to add this segment, please go for it. Don't feel like you're taking something from us. We would love it to be shared anyway.
The more the merrier. So,
yeah.
We are going to have a knit along.
Yay!
And we have some other podcasters that will be joining us, and more hopefully that will be coming in. We just really want to encourage everybody to participate in any way or any time that you have the capacity to do so. So this knit along, actually Emily is going to tell us about.
So this is called the Be My Neighbor Kal, and it's going to start whenever we post this
Saturday.
Yeah, so Saturday.
Which is going to be the
4th? The 4th. Yes, August 4th. It'll start on August 4th, and it will go at least till the end of the year. And this, you'll be able to find the information in our Ravelry group. This is going to be a thread where you can post finished objects and chatter, and it's inspired by Mr. Rogers. So we wanted to do cardigans. However, cardigans might be a little bit
ambitious
much for some. And so cardigans or gift or charity knitting. So if you're knitting for somebody else to lift them up and to be kind to them, or if you want to knit a cardigan, like, Mr. Rogers would always come in and change into his cardigans that his mom knit for him, which is so sweet.
And you can see a link to a video where he talks about that down below.
About how
link below, where he personally tells all about his hand knit cardigans.
Yeah, that are knit by his mother. So anyway, whips count. You don't have to finish. We just want to get everybody talking about it.
There's no size requirement. It can be for a newborn. It can be, because the point is just to share a joyous message.
Yes. And we'll be drawing a series of prizes, probably, I don't know exactly how often, but drawing a series of prizes throughout the end of the year. And every one of the prizes, when we draw for a winner, the winner will get a prize, and they'll get to choose somebody to get a prize, because it's all about sharing the love and the kindness with everybody. So could that be more generous of a knit along?
I don't think so.
Knit a cardigan or anything for anybody. Oh, and crocheting totally counts.
Yeah.
Knitting or crocheting totally counts. And we're going to give away multiple prizes, and not just for you, but for somebody else you choose.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're sharing the love.
Sounds good. Hence our message. Oh. Okay. We went on about that long enough, though I could go on for a long time.
I know.
So we'll end this segment with a quote from Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
There are 3 ways to ultimate success. The first way is to be kind.
The second way is to be kind.
And the third way is to be kind.
Love it.
Okay.
Shop news.
Shop updates, shop news. Okay. I am planning on actually not having regular shop updates, you could say. I will add things to my shop as it goes along, but my goal is to always have things carried in my shop rather than having a shop update, closing it down, you know, selling out, closing down, and then you wait for the next one. I'm working to continually have things in there so that, you know, you can consistently go and find something and not feel the pressure of having to fight for it.
Yeah.
So I have things in my shop there that you can see. I've got some Shirley Temple sock sets, which these are really fun.
So
I love this combination. I don't have Mohair in there right now, but I will in a little bit. And here's my newest color. This one's Catawba Flip. That's how you say it. Catawba Flip. And it's an interesting soda fountain drink that includes a raw egg. Yes.
Why?
You would
Why
be
do
right.
people do that?
But you can rest assured I did not include a raw egg in this game. So you're fine. I've got gumball mini sets.
So cute.
I've got some progress keepers and things like that. But I just want you to feel comfortable when you go to shop, knowing that you don't have to fight for it.
Nice.
So I'll just be adding things as I introduce new colors to my shop and try to keep it regularly updated.
That's awesome. So I'm finally having a new collection come out, and I'm
Yay,
so
this one is
excited.
so fun.
So I announced before that the book that I'm going to be focusing on is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. And there will be multiple collections coming out with this book. In fact, I probably will focus on this book or the Chronicles of Narnia in general for a while because there's just so much to do. So the first collection of 5 colorways will be released this Saturday at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And let me just introduce them to you. Yeah, here,
okay.
Here,
I'll hold up these 2. Here we go. Ready?
All right. So these are vibrant,
highly saturated. I love that.
Colors. So let me take you through them. This one is called Not a Tame Lion. I love it. It's a honey gold colorway. Then this one is Deep Magic.
Love it.
I think that might be my favorite. Then this one is the Stone Table. Little bits of soft speckling.
What's in there?
This one is Beyond the Wardrobe, inspired by that evergreen forest. And then this one is Once a King or Queen of Narnia. So these colorways will be coming out. I have them on classic sock like I'm showing here. I have just a couple of each of the colors in a single ply fingering as well. And I have mini skein sets where there are all 5 of the colorways in a set. So all of those will be available on Saturday.
Those are really good colors for the fall.
I know they are. These are my kind of fall colors. They're not too earthy.
Yeah.
Because I love those colors,
tones,
but they're
and really richly saturated.
Yes.
But they still have some vibrancy to them, which is
yes. And then next month I will have I will be continuing this collection, but also having another Narnia collection coming out.
Fun.
That will be different. Anyway, there'll be a different feel, a different mood to them. I'm excited about those.
All right. I love head stuff. I'll have to show it next time.
I want to knit a Beekeeper cardigan.
Oh, yes. That would be good.
Oh,
It'd be very nice.
So fun.
I knit some little, I forgot to weave an ends on 2 of these, some little swatches for some of my colorways for the Gumball Minis, because I'm going to use these for decoration for some things I have planned ahead. So I have knit some little pennants that
so
will be stitched together to be a little banner. Can't hold them all up.
Nope,
Sorry.
Can't quite manage.
But
almost. There we go.
Anyways, but so that I could just get a good swatch of how the colors look, and this will be really fun when there's a whole bunch of them all strung together.
That's so fun.
I love it. These are fun. And then I wanted to show last something very sweet that somebody sent in for our podcast viewers. And this is by Margaret Rohde. I think it's Rohde. I'm sorry, Margaret, if I'm saying it wrong. But Margaret sent us a really, really sweet card and very kind package. She was just a great example of the kindness that we were talking about, that she just wanted to share her kindness. She doesn't have an Etsy shop, but she sewed the cutest set here. Yes. It is a project bag with outside pockets here. It's a boxed base. This is a nice size bag with
nice and generous.
Cute charm, a sheep charm in here. Fun lining. And then this adorable notions pouch that goes with it.
Also has the cute little sheepy charm on it.
And she just made this because she wanted to share the love. And she wants for us to use this as a giveaway. So this is actually going to be included in our prizes for our Won't You Be My Neighbor? What is it?
Be My Neighbor Kal. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Margaret. And that is just a really kind and generous example of just sharing your kindness without expecting anything in return. She doesn't have an Etsy shop. She's just saying, I like sewing and I want to give something to you.
So sweet.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Okay.
I think that's everything. We won't be podcasting again probably until September.
Yeah, it's going to be a little while.
So it'll be a month before you hear from us again.
Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Have fun.
Yay.
Enjoy it. Soak in the days. And come and join our Kal.
And comment below if you want of any sweet stories of people who have been kind to you. Post it on Instagram. Go into our Ravelry group. Just share the love.
We love it.
And we love you. Oh, we do love you. Okay.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait, it's gonna have to be.
I'm not participating in this madness.